Hey, welcome to LuckGrib. So you've downloaded LuckGrib. You've heard from some friends that it's a amazingly wonderful program for looking at weather data and using that data and analyzing that data. So you've downloaded the data, sorry, you've downloaded the app on a Mac, and now you're wondering, what do I do next? So let's get started. So the first thing you'll want to do is download some weather data. Data comes in the form of Grib files. So we'll download a Grib file. So why don't we download some data for the Pacific? The easiest way to do this is to zoom and scroll the map so that the visible portion is what you want to see the weather data for. So let's do it for the Pacific, just south of Hawaii and north up to, well, you see, there it is. So the first thing we do is we open the Grib request editor area, the Grib download manager, by clicking this little button over here. And we ask for a new request, a new Grib request. There's a bunch of models, weather models, that you can choose from. And for this first video, we're just going to use a lot of defaults. So we use the GFS, the Global Forecast System by NOAA. The parameters, the default parameters are sea level pressure, wind near the surface, and wind gusts. There's a bunch more parameters you can choose from, and we'll come back to these later. We're just going to keep it simple for now. So again, we go on to this third tab, hit the next button, and now we have choices of how long the forecast will be and how frequently we get new data. So we'll ask for forecasts every 3 hours. That's good enough. And we'll go out for, let's do 10 days of forecasting. The resolution, which is how many data points there are spatially, this model offers a quarter of a degree. So we'll go for the maximum. You may want to do less than this if you have a slow connection or you want to keep your file size small. But we don't care. We have a high-speed internet here, so that's good enough. You can choose to change the file name or change the color of the file and all that stuff, which we'll cover later on. So yeah, that's good. We have a GFS file request for this area of the Pacific. So hit download. Here it comes. Yeah, there it is. Big weather file. So once you have the weather data, you can look through it. And later on in this series, we'll go through some videos which will dive into how you analyze the weather data to some degree, as well as other models which are available and weather routing, and there's quite a lot to cover. So we'll keep this pretty simple for now. You can change the time using this little scroll bar at the bottom, the timeline. You can also use the animation, turn that on and off. And for any point along the forecast, you can get the details for what the weather is there. So for example, you move the cursor around and you can read off the text values in the top right-hand corner here. So yeah, that's fine. So this file is, it's shaped kind of like the size of a screen. And there's often the case where you have a certain file you want to download that's a bit more specific. So the easiest way to do this will be to choose the region you want the weather for. So let's get some more weather down for Florida and the Caribbean. So there are different tools you can set the system into, different modes, tool modes, up here in the toolbar. So there's this hand icon, and if you go into this tool, every time you click and drag, it'll move the screen around. So the second one is the rectangle, which is how you select regions. So once you go into the rectangle tool, you can click down somewhere and drag out a region. And once you have a region, you can click on it and drag it around, or make it a bit smaller or larger, or change the shape of it. So let's do something like this. We'll do Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean, do a bit smaller than that, something like that. And now we want to get some weather for this area. So again, go back up to the Grib download manager. We'll ask for a new request. And once again, we'll do GFS. We'll come back to this and look at other models later. We'll do all the same parameters. Let's get rain as well. And now we'll download the data, a quarter of a degree. We'll do 16 days, every 3 hours. That's good. And download. There we go. Yeah, we can zoom in, change the time. Yeah, look at the weather. And yeah, once again, we'll come back to how you analyze this stuff later on. The first step, really the first step, is to get this weather data. And hey, you may already be a meteorologist and you know exactly what to do with this stuff, or maybe you're brand new to this field. And if that's the case, then well, you may want to learn more about weather than what I'll discuss in the videos, but I'll give you some hints on that as well. Okay, so anyway, we have 2 weather files. These weather files cover a variety of days, 10 or 16 days, depending upon which one. Now we have 3 files in this area to the left of the screen. So this top area is the file list. You can click on these to see the different weather files you've downloaded. The app comes with a sample file, and we don't need that anymore. If you click on these files and hold down the control key, you get a little menu which appears. You can also double click on it, tap it twice quickly. Oops, that didn't work. You can also right click, hold down 2 fingers on the tablet and bring up a menu, and we'll delete it. So hold down the control key, bring up a menu, delete the file. So we don't need that one. So we have 2 to choose from here. Also, each of these weather files has a variety of ways of viewing the information in it. The second one we downloaded has rain. And now if you look over here, there's a rain selection in the draw styles area. And I think for this video, we'll keep things pretty simple again. We'll come back and I'll do a second video later on, which goes into the viewing of these files in more detail. So let's see, we have weather data. We have different ways of looking at it. So say some time has gone on and you want to come back and update this. So now it's tomorrow and you want to update this forecast for the Pacific. How do you do that? So again, if you hold down the control button on the file, you can delete the file, export the file to somebody else, or you can update the file. And if you update the file, that's a way of refreshing this. So we'll do that. Update file. And what we're seeing now is the system has brought up the Grib download manager again. And there's a message at the bottom saying the request does not yet have new data available. So what that is saying is that the system has gone to the LuckGrib server cluster, and it's told it the data file which you've downloaded, and the server cluster is saying, hey, that data you have is already the most recent. I can give you new data, but it'll be the same as what you have. So rather than doing that, it just doesn't bother. It tells you that what you have is already the most recent. Pretty simple. So yeah, I think in the interest of keeping this video pretty short, what else can we've done the rectangle. And we've done refreshing. We've done deleting. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for this first video. Just keeping it really simple. So yeah, we've just downloaded LuckGrib. You're wondering how to use it. So yeah, here's your first step. You want to download weather data. And there you go. That's how you do it. And there's a bunch more to cover. We'll do that soon. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you want to see more of these videos, leave me a comment or hit that little like button down there. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.